process of wanting to get all the votes counted. The road to victory of any side is going to come through Michigan and through Detroit. And to stop the vote suggests to stop the very democracy that we are running and these persons are running to elect to uphold. And so we want every vote to count because our vote is our voice, and it will be counted. And the election process will be done. Things are secure on the inside, but of course we have intimidating efforts on the outside, but we're not deterred. As goes Detroit, will go Michigan, and Michigan will join the force of others to be able to say that we have voted. We have record turnout voting. And again, if you want to represent Michigan and Detroit, you ought to want every vote counted.
Who do you think these people are?
Well, these are persons who are passionate and they're consistent. They've been saying all along they're going to suggest that it's rigged. They've been saying all along it's going to suggest that it's flawed or fake. But they've been saying that before now. We just need to be persistent to make sure our voice gets counted, because as goes Detroit will be done so. And I will say the black vote in Detroit is higher than it's ever been, and we will determine the outcome because we've gone from picking cotton to picking presidents.
Reverend, they're saying stop the count. Stop.
Amen, brother.
But it's really important to explain to people that this process
I know I picked some cotton back in my days.
Predictable, and in fact, this was a process
Mississippi
that
County,
was created
shop,
by the president's
road
party,
tractor,
by the state
work at the
GOP
cotton gin,
legislature, which ignored
work for
requests from the
$1.50
Secretary of
an
State,
hour.
other state officials that said, we need increased time. We need some time to pre-canvass these votes. We're never going to be able to get it done in 24 hours. And yet it is the same individuals now who are saying that this is a broken process. So what do you make of that? Was this all kind of pre-planned and expected?
Yes, again, a vote of this type of not only intimidation, but this type of anxiety suggests that people are at last-ditch efforts. But it has been predictable. We have a Secretary of State that has given out all the rules about how it's going to be done. We've had voting centers. We've had 167,000 early votes 4 years ago. We have 3 million to count this time. So we need the time.
Okay, Reverend. Thank you so much. And hopefully this situation will diffuse as the night goes on. We'll be keeping you updated. Amen.
Heidi, can I just ask really quickly if I can, just because I know it's a fluid situation there behind you, are there already a handful or some poll observers or vote observers inside the facility and others that want to get inside? Do I understand that correctly?
That's exactly what's going on. You can see some footage from some Democratic lawyers who are with the state party who say that it's gotten to the point inside where so many of these self-proclaimed poll challengers, poll watchers, force their way in that the official poll watchers cannot get in. And we'll be talking to one later today, Amen. But these are additional surplus people who could not get in once the police intervened and tried to block access to the building because it got out of hand inside.
All right, so I'm going to let you go
nasty
and continue to do some news gathering on what exactly is happening there. Obviously, it's a tense situation. We'll keep an eye on that. Heidi Przybyla in Detroit, Michigan for us. I want to cross over now to Milwaukee, bringing in NBC News correspondent Cal Perry on the ground there. Cal, let's talk about Milwaukee. I was on the air last night at around 4:30 when Steve Kornacki brought in those numbers showing that Wisconsin was beginning to trend in the favor of Joe Biden as we saw those numbers come out of Milwaukee City. What is the situation on the ground there this afternoon?
Listen, finally for Democrats, Wisconsin back in their column. As you said, the moment that Joe Biden went over the top was here in Milwaukee. Democrats knew they had to run up the number here against where Donald Trump performs well in those more rural areas. It was only a margin of 25,000 votes that propelled Donald Trump to a victory here in Wisconsin 4 years ago. The margin is even less for Joe Biden, just 20,000 votes. Now hanging over everything is this recount. We know that the Trump campaign is going to ask for a recount. That will happen in the next 72 hours or so. Then about a week later, the counties will start. 72 counties here in the state of Wisconsin. Each of them will retabulate the votes, and then we expect those results sometime, unfortunately, in early December. With that, I want to toss things over to my colleague, Von Hilliard, who is in the always important Maricopa County in Arizona.